creative thinking. A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Agritech is the solution for this massive problem, which uses sophisticated technologies such as robotics and GPS technology that allow agriculture to increase more productivity while protecting the environment and at the same time being profitable. The Rotary Club of the University of California, together with Scale Up, identified this crucial issue and created an innovative technological platform named Agrithon. Agrithon is a challenging platform that caters to a wide range of participants from school students to industry professionals, and it will solve most of the challenging issues in the agriculture sector by hosting the first ever mega agritech hackathon in Sri Lanka. The innovative agritech solutions which would emerge through Agrithon will be directed to reach the next levels for the successful implementation process, consequently building a sustainable agritech ecosystem in Sri Lanka. So to help you become the next agritech expert, Agrithon brings you a series of webinars conducted by experts in the field that would provide in-depth knowledge and understanding about agritech. Today, we have with us Mr. Hasanka Padukka, the CEO of Vibhava Solutions Private Limited and the co-founder of Thuru and Zero Trash. While Vibhava Solutions provide innovative solutions for the biggest challenges in Sri Lanka, from pollution to poverty, the organization Thuru is a social innovation that introduces new technologies to accelerate reforestation. It has also launched an app to get crowd engagement for reforestation as well. On the other hand, Zero Trash is a service of waste collection, offering residential and commercial waste management services. Mr. Hasanka is a full-time social entrepreneur looking forward to building solutions using technology for environmental goodness. Hello, Mr. Hasanka, once again. So today, Mr. Hasanka will use his experience and sound knowledge to provide insights into the online agribusiness in Sri Lanka. Sir, the platform is now yours.
Right. Thank you, Nirmani, and thank you, Akmil Ahmed and all the rock tractors in the University of California for giving me this opportunity. It's a great privilege to be with you and share my knowledge. Also, I need to extend my gratitude for Nivindari from ICTA for connecting you guys. So the topic is like how to start your online agribusiness. So I would love to take you through a series of points which I have noted down to give you an idea, just not only to start your business, just to make sure that it will sustain for years and how to grow it for the next level. So it will be a short, if I don't give you an intro about what is agribusinesses. So in terms of agriculture, whatever the business you do related with agricultural products, while either in terms of production, in terms of processing, in terms of sales, in terms of marketing, in terms of storage, transportation, value addition, supplies, would say product enhancement, innovations, everything will belong into the businesses, whatever the activities you do in this. In terms of agribusinesses, if I clear it more, then you will figure it out. There will be field related crops growing, in terms of dairy, in terms of seeds, flowers, plants, other supplies, whatever the grow medias, fertilizer, pest repellents, pesticide, hydroponics, agroponics, like being a vendor, trading, anything will be included in this domain. Even the consultancy, knowledge, support services, insurance, technologies, platform, everything will cover in this small two words like agribusinesses. So in terms of, before you focus on growing your agriculture business, you should focus on these areas. First one is agriculture. You need to follow you have to adhere for the compliances. So in terms of compliances, that means there may be food and safety compliance, there may be country law and order, certain audience or acts in terms of licensing procedures, anything which makes you to be adhere to conduct this sort of businesses. I think you need to be comply on those areas. For an example, if you are a registered nursery, you need to be follow the Seed Act of Sri Lanka, and then the registration, the how to conduct, what are the code of conduct, what are the things you can do. It will be clearly mentioned on Seed Act. Likewise, based on agriculture department advices, guidance, you can think on, okay, what can be done within the legal framework, what can't be done within the existing legal framework. Apart from that, we know we export and import certain agri-related items, products to Sri Lanka. So you need to be focused on whether my product I would export, whether I need to import certain things, how the supply demand works, and and other sort of global market trends before you start these things. Because when you start a business, all the micro elements and the macro elements will have a direct and indirect impact on your business and on and the industry. So focus on these things. Now with the COVID, agriculture became number one or number two. Number one would be health, and the number two is like how do we sustain the self-sustain, what are the challenges related to food for the coming years. So and the climate change, the bigger picture. So I think everyone emphasize in terms of agriculture how good we will work against climate reality, climate change, climate impacts with the good adaptation of agriculture technologies. That's why we always talk about many more productive enhancement strategies in terms of agriculture nowadays. So, so compliance is number one. So when you start something, you need to focus on what are the areas you are going in and what are the compliance. If you are starting a single proprietorship, if you are starting a partnership, if you're starting in a private limited thing or any other mode, right? Society or any trust. So think on how good you focus on and selecting the right sort of structures. So compliance is that. And then before starting, like aligning with the compliance thing, before starting these things, you need to see what are the characteristics do I have to start become a businessman in this agriculture industry. So I think most of you have a related, like subject related background, whether you have done agriculture on your schooling time, then whether someone has done a diploma, someone has done a higher national diploma or a degree or MBA or any other PhD level experience, or those who doesn't have any agriculture related thing, don't worry, you will gain from experience. I would say what you need to do is you have to have that mindset. You have to be an interactive learner. Whatever the things you see, whatever the things you hear, whatever the things you read, I think it will enhance your knowledge. So have mentors, have subject matter expert to broaden your knowledge in terms of the subject. The first characteristics I would love to propose you to have is perseverance. Perseverance means you need to whenever you feel difficulties, you can't give up, right? You have to whatever push your limits and somehow get it done. And the other one is you need to be a risk taker. Sometimes whatever the things we invest, it will not give the expected benefits. So there will be losses and also winning. So you have to have that mindset of becoming a risk taker. And then you need to be a master of execution. Whatever you say, whatever you think, you have to execute it as soon as possible with the least cost. Otherwise, you can't survive on this business. Then you need to be a good negotiator. We work with people. People are different. It's like fingers in this farm hand. So then people are like, some are good, some are bad, some want to do businesses, some are unnegotiable. But you need to be like a good negotiator, reach out people, need to possess good human qualities in terms of being, especially in agriculture industry, because you work with many more ground level people. And so you need to go into their like locations and get this done. Another one would be, you need to have that innovative mindset. Innovative mindset is like, you need to be think out of you need to think out of the box, right? We don't want another startup or another someone who's copying an existing system. Whatever the exist system, if you can do it on with lesser cost, with high productivity or effectiveness, I would say you are doing something good, because you are going out of the box. So in terms of water usage, if you can reduce the water usage, that's good. In terms of demand, if you can increase the demand, that's good. If you can reduce the wastage, that is good. If you can increase the productivity, that is good. And if you can do it much more in an organic manner, that's good. So these are the things, I would say, that innovative methods, because unless you have these things, you don't get this. I will come to it later. Unique value proposition. So in your unique value proposition, based on what is your mode of thought process, whether you're a person who thinks, who trying to do something new. And then the technical knowledge, as I said, technical knowledge will really give you the key advantage to become to like produce or to create something really good. So all of these characteristics will give you that combination to become a good businessman in agricultural industry. And I would say technology. I would say the keyword is online, but in terms of technology, if you are not that good in, too smart on agriculture, like technology, don't worry. We have people. We have people who are really expert on coding, programming, doing circuits, manufacturing different sort of systems, platforms. We do have people. What we really want is that entrepreneurial mindset, that innovative mindset from you. So then you can get the work from done. If you know the technology, that's good, because you know what exactly you want to do on your next move. If you don't have the technology piece with you, don't worry. We can hire someone, we can give him advice. Okay, I need this, can you do this to me? And final one is empathy. You need to have empathy to feel the right problem. So I will explain empathy during my session. So moving on, there are multiple free tools available for you to grow your online business. For example, Facebook is an ideal locations for you to start your venture. And then YouTube and other sort of Instagram, the more people are now engaged in different social media platforms. You can use these platforms for the first time to start your small business, and then later on, based on the traction, you can grow it into a much more powerful websites, apps, other sort of platforms. First, you start small. So the key rule I'm going to share you today is like, fail fast, fail cheap. The reason why I'm telling you is that we like in Sri Lanka, like when we want to do things, it's like very difficult sometimes. Sometimes it drags a lot. and sometimes certain learnings, in terms of getting that learning, you have to spend a lot. So the motto of you has to be, when you start an agriculture business or any other businesses, first one is fail fast, fail cheap. You do small initiatives and try the traction levels. If it is working, then you put more funding or more focus, more effort on that thing. And if it doesn't work, you can't, that doesn't mean you stop that. You have to pivot from that the model, right? You have to change the model and do adjustments and again test that thing. So how this business starts, how to start your business? Everything start with an idea. That idea might be your problem. That idea might be someone else's problem. Either you get that idea in a during your research, you got that idea, or any other studies programs, during that program you get this idea. Else, randomly you got this thought, why can't we do this? So that idea is the key element which anyone to pursue in their agri business development process. But idea, we are rich in ideas, but we most of the people are not enriched with execution. So whatever the idea you have, you might think this will worth millions, but rather than you sharing with someone else, that idea is like worthless. It doesn't have that meaning, right? So for share this idea with your friends, your team, your co-working group, and then fine tune this idea. And the other one is that idea needs to fulfill a problem. So even in agriculture, if you are not fulfilling a problem, a burning issue, uh, 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 that business will not last long, right? The reason why I'm telling is we people have much more difficulties, problems in terms of whatever we do. Whatever the things solve our problems, either we pay them or either we freely use it, or we will like uh, uh, repetitively use the same software or the platform or the services or the product. So make sure whatever the things you do have to solve a major problem. It might it not be the 100% 100% applicable solution, but at least if it is solving a part of the thing, I think you are on the right track, because you will have plenty of room to improve your solution. So idea, then you have to have a problem. So idea have to cater for a problem. So this problem, you need to learn this problem. You need to identify this problem. You need to get the real feeling of a farmer who is in Girandur Kotte, has has grown a crop, we would say corn, and then how does this corn, how the hell he sell these items to a vendor at Colombo, something like that, or anyone from Batiklo, anyone from Mana or down south in Sri Lanka. How does this agri-crops really goes into customers' hand? How does his service or the product will be materialized in terms of as a transaction? So these are the things we really want to see. And then we need to define that problem. And in terms of defining problem, the word empathy has to be coming. You need to wear other person's shoe. You need to wear the farmer's shoes. I would say he shoes means we need to feel, we need to absorb his pain to our heart, right, to our soul. Then we will also feel that these are the burning issues of this farmer, right? He has abundant of stock, but he can't sell. So what needs to be done? He has stocks, but it all waste after few days. We can't store these things. He don't have adequate water to do farming. Oh, likewise, and the weather patterns are different. So we need to think on these problems. So once you identify the right problem and the right magnitude, and then your idea needs to develop a solution. That solution needs to have the right fit to the problem. And then Now you have the solution. It might have some sort of a definition, some sort of a character, either weight, height, color, or any sort of thing. And then you need to do a prototyping. Prototyping means you need to do a small model. Even you have to draw it, even you have to do a proposal or anything, artwork, or even from the clay, or even website, or online other thing, you do a prototype on any, do a PPT, a slide deck, mock-ups, or anything, UI UX, whatever the things, outcomes you get from UI UX, do some small prototype. So then with this prototype, you have to go to your friends and families, whoever very close to you, or the particular problem holders, I would say the client, and then go to him, check your product, ask for modification, ask whether my solution will really fit into you. What are the changes I need to do? What are the improvements I need to do? Please advise. Get his comment. Get the third eye view to your product. Optimize it. Come back to your workstation. Like, try level best to how to optimize it. If you don't know the technology, if you don't know the missing piece, try to talk to your friends, try to talk to government initiatives, research firms, get that sorted, optimize it, and again go into the same problem holder. Then you will rectify it, and then you will start the, I would say, the POC, very limited people, proof of concept, would say, for very limited people, you will launch your product, either free, with a charge. You can define on that. So then you will with that input also, you will optimize further and go into a commercial launch. We would say a minimum viable product, and then minimum viable product, step by step you will do alterations based on the customer feedback, and then that's a journey. It will not stop at one point. It will continually goes as a marathon. Even you start with a solid system. That solid system will also have changes to be done on coming future due to circumstance. If you have a very small one or two feature minimalism product, don't worry, you have plenty of time to do improvements. Then go into this pathway. You can go into scaling, like a market, and then with the market you will figure it out. I need funding, I need expert, I need people, I need labor or other resources, I need this knowledge. So then only your angels, you whatever the people you want to support, or the investors, or the venture capitalists, or venture funding programs, you have to go into that. So then build that thing. So this is the typical journey of the startup. So I would say online businesses, I would say online startup related to agriculture business. So this is the way how to start, how to convert your idea and to a solution, and then to scale. So there are plenty of examples in Sri Lanka, to who has in a very short time they have gone into global markets. I think Miller, I saw the Miller also got in touch yesterday. I think a typical example for such a Sri Lankan startup who grow technology in terms of agri-related industry, agri-tech. And then I would love to take your eye into marketing. So most of the people who have better sound knowledge when related to agriculture, there's an idea that they don't have that marketing knowledge because they haven't studied management, they haven't studied finance, they haven't studied marketing as a subject. Don't worry about that. When you talk about when you're talking to your customer, when you're talking to your suppliers, when you're talking to public research organizations and other people, uh, I think marketing theories will come into you. You need to read. You need to study other initiatives. You need to like focus on what else is happening in the other side of the world. Unless you do this, your knowledge would be very less. It's not copying or uh, imitating others. It is just robusting your existing business model. There's something called don't try to reinvent the wheel. So the platforms are already there, scenarios are already there, stories are there. Just uh, reserve your time to get an idea on what they have done. So they have done plenty of mistakes, but when you learn from their mistakes, it will be your achievement to grow faster without reinventing the wheel, right? So marketing, best thing is to study your customer, what he needs, what he want to do, how he want the package, everything. That's it. So if you can think on uh, those things in a bird eye view, I would say marketing would be very easy for agri-tech people, agri-related people. And then how to identify your customer. That's the key. That's the key, I would say, the breakthrough to you to be success in your venture. So in terms of customer, the customer, don't misconfuse the customer. Customer means someone either use your product, someone either pays you, someone either give you feedback, or someone even neglect your product. Everyone is a customer, because all of these comments, feedbacks, positive or negative, really gives you the edge to iron out, to and identify, to lock who is your selected customer target segment. So it's a identify soon as much as possible what is the age limit, which age limit, whether it is 20 to 34 or 28 to 44 or above 50. Figure it out, who are who is your customer and their demographics, like where do they live, I would say their age, their locations, and even their patterns of purchases, whether they go on online on desktop, mobile, whether what are the social media platform they are active, they are on Facebook, they are on Instagram, they are on YouTube. Try to figure out all these things, right? Even whether they are not into online, that also a good feedback. So then you need to figure it out. They are traditional customers, they are not that tech savvy. They needs to be reached through the same offline mechanism, which is either over the phone, right, or home to home delivery channels. So think on how good you'll identify your customer and identify your niche market. So that's one of the key elements to be success in your venture. If you can't figure it out your customer, because as you have very less amount of money with you, very less amount of marketing budget, you can't do advertising into the right spot. Unless you do market, unless however your product might be brilliant, however your idea or solution is 100% solving the problem, but unless you talk to the right, unless talk to the right customer or knock in the right door, it will in vain. You will lose more money. So when you start online business, when you starting your online startup, try to figure it out to identify the right customer. For that, you have to do different tests. You have to target on either Colombo, suburbs, or Greater Colombo, or even different patterns. Put certain patterns in advertising, like Facebook. You can do this very easily. LinkedIn also has this capabilities. I think YouTube has also had a different mode of doing these things. So whenever the free products, that doesn't mean free products, yeah, like free usage means is like based on the usage you will get data. So certain products you need, you agri-tech products, you need data. So People who generate data will become your asset. So it doesn't necessarily be a paid customer. Even a user, even without paying you, generating data, I would say you will have a much more stronger business in terms of related to online. And I would say the next one would be the value proposition, the unique value propositions you deliver. Your product needs to have a tangible value generation. Either it has to reduce cost, either it has to be less resource consumption, effective, or it has to increase productivity. It will like minimize water usage. It will increase the crop harvest. So you need to think on what exactly my product will. Even it will give affordability, even it will be convenience to customers, save time. This unique value can measure these values against. I am reducing cost by 3%. I am reducing his time. I'm reducing labor by 20%. I would say that these are the solutions we would really need to build upon. So unique value proposition give you the edge again. So think on how your solution build this unique value proposition. For an example, if I take a variety like I would say cactus. So this cactus, you'll have multiple types of varieties. So sometimes your customers might think on buying all the sort of cactus, or if you have very less amount of this requirement is not fulfilled within your platform. So so you can't save his time or his requirement. So likewise, you need to have a measurable or either subjective measuring tool to so your customer. And then in terms of agribusinesses, online agribusinesses, there might be linkage with packaging. There might not be linkage in packaging, but who are the people really want to do businesses related to products, think on the packaging. How environment friendly I am, how eco-friendly my packaging really works. Packaging will give you the edge to get the next sales also. So, and also if you can't eliminate certain plastic or other stuff, try to reduce it. Try to reuse the packaging, or whatever, make sure that your packaging is recyclable packaging. So it's not just a business, it's something more than the business. So especially on agriculture, you do edible stuff, right? So and also meantime, when you do these sort of things, then it will be positive or negative spillovers to this environment. So you as a business holder, you need to have that mindset. From my business, I need to deliver an impact, a positive impact to the environment. So even when you start all these things, just have an idea. You can't do it all these in day one. It will take some time. It will need some like funding or any other sort of thing. But if you can use paper, or if you can use any sort of recyclable stuff, even glass or any other things for wrapping, even natural package materials, that will be really great. That will definitely give you the advantage, like in terms of certain customer segments who really think of like good market sort of things. People really focus on goodness for the environment. They have consciousness of buying certain items by like a very responsible buyers. So think on these platforms, and then focus on your packaging materials also. And then customer services. Customer service is like a is the most powerful tool you have. to like scale your business. If you treat your customer right, if you respect your customer, I'm sure he will make sure that to either appreciate or either to pass down your services like to someone else. I have my experience. I have, from my experience, my customers really promote me on around their circles. That gives me a very less cost in terms of acquiring a new customer to my platforms. So you have to maintain service your customer in a very professional way. So when you focus on your technology piece, when you focus on your product and forgetting about the customer, that means suicide. That's like a suicide mission, right? Though even you have, sir, like we don't have, like in terms of platforms, I'm saying online, we don't have super solid platform. Whatever the businesses, even the Facebook, any businesses, sometimes you have experience there are breakdowns, sometimes it didn't work. It's not super like bug free platforms. So even Turu now these days I am encountering a bug in Turu app. So it's obvious it is inevitable, right? So because we work with a very less budget, so we have to cope and move forward with this. We can't stop our journey. We have to find solutions, try to solve this as soon as possible, and serve our customers. In terms of logistic, whatever the business you do, you need to think on the logistic piece. The key is logistic. You can now in Sri Lanka we have courier services who operates around the Sri Lanka. Within 2 to 3 days, most of the, I would say the most of the courier agents, they deliver items. So I have used many more multiple like couriers, and they're doing a great job. Even though there are issues, they're doing a great job. So whenever you start your business, you need to figure it out whether my product is like can be couriered. So then with 280 rupees or less than that 300 rupees, you can send 1 kilo of your product even in island wide. So that's, I would say that's a that facility will expand your business very instantly. So if your product cannot be transported via courier, so then you need to figure it out your own mechanism to make sure the cost is very low and get it delivered to your doorstep. So that then you need to partner with people, then you need to inspire people, you need to empower people to get this done for you on behalf of you. So that's where in terms of agriculture business we have intermediaries. In agriculture business we have suppliers. I would say in terms of suppliers mean they supply material, the primary related activities, and they have some people who do secondary level inputs to our business. So then there's a manufacturer, either a developer, a solution provider, and then from that solution provider there's someone called intermediary. So intermediary also needs to be in this domain. Sometimes whenever we can, if we can eliminate the intermediary, that's fine, but they also give certain support like services for our product. And then from intermediary it would say a wholesale dealer or a resale seller. So from retail seller it goes ultimately into customer, or either a delivery person who reach out the customer. So and then the customer will give you feedback for the manufacturer. This is a cycle. So figure out your online business. What is the logistic works? What is the SLA? What is the promise you do? I will deliver my product or service within X amount of days. You can, like, you don't want to give false promises, but you need to think on whatever SLA to the delivery mode. So make sure the person who deliver your product will have that image to represent you, because where he is the ultimate person who reaches into customer. If the delivery person give a very bad impression to customer, whatever the online business we do, a certain, but most of the businesses we do, it will have a negative boomerang effect on your business. But when you do when you take a third party courier, you can't do it. But whenever you have resources to deliver your things, he's the he's the key person who creates the image of the entire business for the client. He needs to greet the customer, he needs to facilitate the customer. So the customer services is that is needs to be his passion, I would say. If you can't find a person, I think founders has to do it first. The first days, founders has to do and get the feeling, and then he has to train or develop someone else to do these things. In terms of finance, for when you start, when you're going to start a online business, agri businesses, finance would be a problem. But try to save your funding, try to get reach out friends and family to get the first initial funding. If not, go into a like a in a program in Sri Lanka, there are multiple programs, seed funds, hackathons like this. You have to go into these programs. Otherwise, no one will come and invest you. During these programs, don't be like distract by promoting your solution, right? First, you need to give the mentors or the judges that what are the qualities you have. They will invest not only for your solution, but also they will invest for you, for your characteristics, for your leaderships, for your entrepreneurial mindset. So don't be afraid to fail. In my career, I have failed many more times. That doesn't really stop me. So in terms of financing, I have got 2 seed funding and a 1 grant so far so on. But rest of the thing is bootstrapped. I got funding from Dialogue, 300,000. I got 1 million from Mobitel, and I got into the spy relation program managed by ICTA. I got 1.2 funding to scale my business. So and also major amount of money have been put with me and my partner Heminda Jayavida to and completely bootstrap this project. So don't worry or don't wait or don't seek investments or funding from get the traction, then only go into these programs. But hackathons or less, I highly encourage you to join into hackathons and other sort of seed level programs, funding programs. And in terms of business modeling for your agriculture related business, I would highly recommend either you go into microcharging, subscribe based, or freemium model, or you will have a free slab, and then after that slab you will have a marginalized charging mechanisms, or pay as you go model, so like a product community like product based pricing module. You add margin and sell. So any model you pick, it will really works. There is no any hard and fast rule for you to pick models. Don't worry about the model. First, have a purpose. The purpose will lead you into the model. First, deliver something good. First, solve certain problems. Then it will be rest of the things will follow for you. Don't be anxious on getting the funding first. Certain projects you need the funding for to start, but certain projects, most of the projects which starts in small scale, doesn't need funding. It needs that passion. It needs that purpose to go into next stage. So going to my final points. So in Sri Lanka, we have a good ecosystem for entrepreneurs in terms of agriculture. Keep in touch with different Sri Lankan based funding mechanisms, like programs like ICTA Spy Relations, and also there are angel networks in Sri Lanka, and also focus on uh, uh, the events happening on Sri Lankan startup ecosystem. There's a program called Startup SL, startupsl.lk. Get registered your startup. These are the way, and then also apart from that, Sri Lanka government, universities, agriculture department, and other programs, and also international programs, international donor programs, grants. There are multiple opportunities, but need to have a solid solution to solve the bigger problem, right? You might not be the full problem solver, at least a partial part of the problem you can solve. That's great. And in terms of online business implementation, I would highly recommend you to start from Facebook. Facebook is like a free tool. We can establish the free store market space there. It's been now integrated with WhatsApp, even though there are issues in terms of privacy now. It's a major talk, but in terms of businesses, these are the ideal place to start because you don't want to invest in non-technology. WhatsApp, Instagram, you can use. Even YouTube, this is a different mode of way. You produce certain good contents related to agriculture industry. You put your social media links or mobile number. All of a sudden, you will get many more calls related to inquiries about how do I purchase your solution or your product. So likewise, use the free enabled digital enablers to grow your platforms. If not, get collaborations. Like there are multiple online platforms in Sri Lanka who will list other people's product to support them, to support budded entrepreneurs, so support people who really want to start these things. So don't wait. Always you need to pursue some person, some groups, promote your product. It's not a day, it's not a 100-meter thing, it's a marathon, always a marathon. Whenever you fail, you learn. Do thousands mistakes, failures will be a blessing for you to be success on this. For me, I would say I am also not still I would say in terms of success, no, I am not a successful person. There are plenty of things to do for me. So climate change mitigation strategies, I would say we Sri Lankans and other people who lives in South Asian countries and the entire world, we have plenty of things to do. So focus on some free tools, do check the tractions, then only you can move into powerful platforms. There are platforms, there are charging gates, there are multiple like pay here, Sri Lankan product is there, Sampath Bag, extend payment gates, and there are Bebex Pay, many more payment gateways are there. Some certain things I haven't also used, and also there are delivery platforms you can get involved. I'm not promoting any brand, but I would say these are the ecosystem elements for you to grow your business. And remember, when you're moving from your first step to second step, look into your data is the key, like a key source of I would say the magic essence for you. So integrate Google Analytics, integrate Facebook Pixel to your platforms, then you will get more real validated data, right data to take right decisions. So if you want to start a good business, you need to have two cents on what will be the next or 6 months or next 1 year or even next 5 years demand would look like. What is the thought process of people? So based on that, you need to like germinate certain seeds. You sometimes certain seeds you germinate today, right? You grow today, will give short-term rewards, some medium-term, some would be long-term rewards. So think on how exactly you will like what sort of a decision-taking mechanisms you're going to take forward. In terms of like I would say, everyone has more high-tech phones, so don't think about photography, productography in a huge way. It will give, definitely it will give advantage, but start small. You can start recording or do digital content from the existing phone you have, and then there are many more multiple tools like Canva, and other free online image editing tools to get to do fulfill your communications requirement. You don't need multiple 100 people or 10 people or 5 people to get this done. So if you want to become an entrepreneur, it will be a journey. You work around the clock. You can't start work at 8 o'clock and like stop your work by 5 o'clock. It will be all the round the 24 hours. You need to be a well organized, planned, and execute these things. And finally, think on the collaborations. Don't think anyone in the same business as competitors. That's my advice. The term competitor, it will really misguide all of you, because when we put the term competitors, right, then whenever you all of you guys are in the same domain, you all are going to solve the problems. You are going to solve, like, give food for every people. You are going all Everyone is going to solve, increase the productivity, reduce the water usage, reduce climate change. Don't put like or tag people as competitors. They also trying to do something good. Think on that perspective. They are solving the problem in a different pathway. You are solving the problem in a different pathway. Yes, people are different. As I said, fingers are different. Even it's in a one hand. Uh, Solving problem is very unique. Don't condemn, don't like give backslashes, or like give negative comments on others work. Learn from them. Learn from them your failure and grow your business. That's the final message I really want to give you. Because whenever we put marked or put everyone as competitors in this online business, because when you go online there are certain like plus points. You don't need investment to go on online. It's more or less it's free. In terms of stock holding, you don't want to really keep a huge stock, so that's a good benefit for you. You can put an image, and then for intermediaries, for platforms, you can put an image and then you can trade. It's like it has a very less overhead cost, because when you do like a business in a one location, you only have electricity, rental, water, other utility, even food, meals, security, internet, connectivity, everything cost component will be there. But when you start small, in your backyard, in your home, in your friend's place, in your garage, or whatever you do, especially on online businesses, right? I would say that's easy. So it has free access and free entrance. So many more people will try to be success on this domain. Some will succeed, some will succeed, some don't. So don't create negative thought processes by marking them as competitors. Sometimes synergy will give you the additions. For us, even we work with many multiple organizations. We work with offline nurseries. We work with even people who deliver stuff on in online. We work with them. What you need to figure it out is whether what is my uh, what is the hat I am wearing. Either I am a intermediary, either I am a manufacturer, either I am on the last mile, I am a delivery person or fulfillment guy, or you are doing the entire thing. I am a wholesale dealer or I am a retail dealer, or whether I am the manufacturer and I am all the final reseller. Figure it out what model you really follows, and then that's it. So before I think time is up. Before winding up from my end, so think on, we don't need conventional agri businesses so far so on. I think multiple entities, people, organizations, they really practice this. That's why the rice is coming from our plate. That's why we eat vegetables. That's why we like drink many more other stuff, use certain agri products, crops. What we really want is like someone who go on the extra mile, someone who do things different, someone who will disrupt the existing technology and give benefits not only for customer but also for the nature, who will reduce the carbon emission, who will reduce the temperature, the green gas effect, who will reduce of using of fossil fuel, who will use renewable energy, who will use natural fertilizer, pest repellents, who will reduce use of chemical and other stuff. These are who deliver much more fresh products and reliable products. I think these are the things you really focus on. If you think you can focus on these things, I'm sure you will become a good person, a good businessman, a good startup holder in the field of agriculture, because I'm sure you all have the knowledge, you all have that capability and the resource panel around you. What you really want to do is like raise that consciousness and resilient within you. That's it, Nirmani from my end.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Hasankar. Now we move on to a Q&A session. And if the audience has any questions for Mr. Hasankar, please feel free to unmute and ask a question in the preferred medium of language or type the question in the chat box.
Hi, I am Hilru Siddiq, CEO City Gardens, Hasanda.
Hi, Hilru.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You know, I like to know excellent program. I like to know the next one. When you have planned to continue this so that we can build more momentum and go ahead with your ideas.
Thank you. Yes, over to you.
Right. So, Hillary, just one thing to clarify regarding you are referring for Turu, or you are referring some any other initiative, or about this agrothon?
Both. Any other initiative as well, because all what you gave is excellent ideas, and I think we should have a way forward. Somebody has to pull this.
Right. So I think Hilru, I think we have met and we have worked together for in past history for different initiatives, tree planting and other stuff, and I'm sure that you also bring technology and other sort of suppliers related to agriculture. In terms of Turu, what we can do is like Turu is a platform now. We started with 8 products back in 2019 December. I started Turu platform, Turu.lk, with 8 products, and then it grew into 37 products. Initially it was like plants, forest plants, and then with the COVID it gradually grew up to like 275. Now as for the date we have 500 products. So Turu has 500 products, but we have the capability to add many more products. Some products I'm registered nursery, some products I produce, some products I don't produce. So Turu will become a platform for anyone to list their products and pass down a margin for Turu, because Turu initiative is a self-sustained initiative which is managed by Viber Solution Private Limited. my company. So anyone who is interested in listing their solutions or the products, for an example, someone in now I cater Colombo. So there's a requirement like a one perch, like one of my friend Sanjana, he's an agriculture expert. He said he told me the requirement in Colombo in urban home garden is like due to the pest issues, due to the acidity level of rainfall. So now they need a small mini home garden, like mini polytunnel or a safe house. So if we can develop something, we can definitely list that product in Turu. And then when we get the order, we will pass down it to the respective manufacturer or the supplier. So he will do the fulfillment part. So likewise, there's an endless opportunity for listing products in Turu, but it has to be adhere to the Turu terms and conditions. And in terms of scaling, Turu.lk in near future, it will go into Gampaha. And it will go in, and based on the online transaction behaviors of Sri Lankans, their awareness and their usage of online services, we will expand from Gampaha to Kalutara, Kandy, Kurunegala, down south, even when to Batiklo to Jaffna. So we have to build and transform existing online businesses into online. So this is my clarification on Turu. I think Agrithon, this is like the very first hackathon related to agriculture industry. I would say Akil or Nirmani will give you more updates on what will really happen on next. I think I will pass your contact and they will connect with you on next steps related to this program.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Hindru, with regard to your questions on the at scale up with Rick and RotTrack, this is the first ever hackathon that we are organizing with regard to Agri-thon, actually agriculture. So we actually thought of doing some innovative idea through the two scales. One is from the students and the other one is from university students. So one is for basically schools and the other one is from the university students. So I think we'll be continuing different kind of webinars through this. So if you connected with our Facebook page and the social media, we'll be definitely sharing our content and future programs.
That's fine. That's very good, because we are also looking for contacts from the student side, because those who passed out can get the opportunity to train themselves in our technology, that is micro irrigation technology. We will give the opportunities to get practical experience also in the ongoing projects. So please connect to us. We'll be very happy.
Thank you.
Yes, do we have more questions from the audience?
Hi everyone. Can we contact you through WhatsApp or email with Mr. Paduk?
My contact details.
Oh yes.
Yeah, okay, sure. We'll put into the chat.
And meantime, I will let one more thing. On 23rd of January, we'll be having another sessions for entrepreneurship by the program manager of Startup X Foundry. So you can get more ideas on how you can scale up your business. To get more idea on startup opportunities.
Yes. Right. Okay. Any other questions or inquiries we have from the audience? You can drop a text. You can drop a chat. Drop in the chat. So that marks the end of a successful session conducted by Mr. Hasanka Paduka. I would like to thank you for taking time off your busy schedule to enlighten us on the topic of online agribusiness in Sri Lanka. Thank you, sir. I believe the audience also gathered a great understanding of the Sri Lankan online agribusiness through this webinar. Signing off, I'm Retractor Nirmani Jayavardhana. Have a great day.
Thank you, Nirmani. Thank you, Rod Tractors of University of Kelaniya for onboarding me for this program.
Thank you. Thank you very much.